All right, Rob, I know you didn't watch it, but I know you watched the highlights. I stayed up 12:15 to 2:30 or whatever it was and watched Team USA. And I think they're going to win gold. I mean, I picked them anyway, but I was definitely skeptical. But they have found their stride. They avenged. Remember, Australia beat them in the exhibition season. And then Team USA just dismantled them yesterday, won by more than 15 points. 97-78 was the final. But it was a good game early. Australia led by 15, Rob, like midway through the second quarter. And then Team USA just took over. And by halftime, they were within 4 or 3 or 4.
That's all you got to do is get close at the half. If you go into a game, an NBA game, and tell me if you agree with me. When I was a beat writer covering the league, I always thought if a team is within 10 points to start the fourth quarter, they could win that game. That's before the three-pointer was in.
I was going to say, now it's probably, to be honest, now it's certainly 15. And maybe, Rob, even close to 20. I mean, 20's still a
20's still a lot.
One.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking about pre-3-point. If you were within 10, you could win a game in the NBA. You could.
Yeah, you're in the game. But, remember, these games are only 40 minutes, so they're shorter. But the bottom line is Team USA. What's happening is their pressure defense is giving these teams problems. Like, these dudes are really getting after it now, and they're pressuring guys all over the court, and that's getting the other teams out of their offense. Now, Australia handled it well in the first half. Or the first quarter and a half. But eventually, Rob, it just wears you down. It's like, okay, I can handle it for 15, 20 minutes, but over time, it was clear that it just wore them out and they weren't getting good shots and all that. And then on the other hand, on the other end of the floor, Rob, all these stars, you got Dame Lillard, who arguably is the most clutch player in the league. Zach LaVine, who is a scorer on his team, give you nearly 30 points a night. Chris Middleton, who is the closer for the world champion Milwaukee Bucks. Jason Tatum, who's one of the hottest young stars in the league. Devin Booker, also one of the hottest young stars in the league and the closer for the Western Conference champion Phoenix Suns. Rob, when push came to shove, when it was either get embarrassed and go back to American soil with no medal, or at least no gold medal, when it was, we got to do something. All those stars, all those number one guys look to one man, Kevin Durant. And boy, did he deliver, Rob. And here's why I say they look to him. Now, we know he's become the leading scorer in Olympic history. But, Rob, here's how it was. At halftime, Kevin Durant had 14 field goal attempts. No other player on Team USA had more than 4. And you rarely see anything like this in Olympic competition, right? And for our team, like, they're never, when it was 2008 and LeBron and Wade, and I think Chris Paul was on that team, and obviously Kobe Bryant. Yes, at the end of that gold medal game with Spain, when it was close, they went to Kobe. But that was for a few minutes, half a quarter at best. This was basically the last 3 quarters. They didn't need him in the fourth. It was over by then. But the second and third quarters, they said, big fella, take us home. And you just don't see it, Rob. The fact that Carmelo's the leading scorer in Olympic history tells you he's a great player. I think he's a Hall of Famer. But, he's not better than LeBron and Wade and a lot of these guys that play on Team USA. They usually don't care. It's just like, hey, let's just get the win. Everybody gets theirs. But this team has deferred to Kevin Durant. And what I want to throw at you, Rob, based on that, is if you are in a pinch, if you're down in a big game, is there another player right now, and you can even take it historic if you want, that you would rather have to go to than Kevin Durant?
Not at this point. I think Kevin Durant is that guy. He's not afraid to take shots. A lot of people don't want the pressure of it. Even that Nets series, some people look at it and say, well, in overtime, he was 0 for 5, or he was this,
6.
or he was that, 0 for 6. But he did get them there, and he needed him. They needed every ounce of what he had for them to even tie that game. And if his foot was back a little bit, Chris, they win that game on his shot. So I like it. I remember when he went to Golden State and he made that shot over LeBron. Do you remember that moment?
Yep.
In that game? I mean, it's like symbolic more than anything. Do you know what I mean? It was just like he just raised up and put the shot up against LeBron. You remember stuff like that. And you think of Kevin Durant, to me,
but wasn't it like 3-0 anyway?
No, but I'm
not
just saying,
taking away from it. But they were so much better than Cleveland.
I know, but I'm just saying. Yeah. But the way it looked, though, you know what I mean? Like LeBron was on him, and he came up. If I remember correctly, the score might have been tied or they were down. Like he just didn't even hesitate. He just took the ball. LeBron was there and shot it. But anyway, my point is, he's the best in the business right now, and I would be passing him the ball as well and expecting that guy to drive us home if I were a player. I think he's that good. I think people respect him, his ability, what he can do. He's not the best all-around player, but man, if you're drafting and starting a team, he would, and you're trying to win a championship now, he would be on my list. He would be my first pick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that he's not. We said yesterday, right now, give it to Giannis. I mean, it's close. It's arguable. Nobody's going to get mad at you if you say Durant. I don't know. Is LeBron still in that conversation? We'll find out, this year if he's gotten that much older or whatever. But when it comes to scoring, Rob, he's the best scorer in basketball.
Yep.
And I got to be honest. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can look back at Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, come on, who can argue with his numbers, right? Kareem, the sky hook was unstoppable to the point, Rob, where at 38, he's averaging 17 points a game. He's still just killing people with the sky hook, even though he was only getting about 6 rebounds a game at that point. He clearly wasn't the same player, but the sky hook was still unstoppable. But the only guy you take those bigs out of it or whatever, the only guy I might take over him all time, just flat out scoring, and maybe I'll admit maybe I'm missing somebody, but it'd be Michael Jordan, Rob. It'd be Michael Jordan, just because we saw Jordan did it so many times. He could score in so many different ways. He obviously was better at the rim, getting to the basket, than Durant. Wasn't the shooter, the three-point shooter that Durant is. Jordan became an incredible mid-range shooter. But now,
if Jordan was playing now, Chris, he would be a great three-point shooter.
No doubt.
I don't even doubt it. Am I right?
I totally agree.
I don't doubt it.
At the very least, he'd be good.
He wasn't a great shooter coming to the pros. Right. Everything was at the basket. He was considered a dunker, Chris, and all that. And he became a great mid-range shooter. Am I right?
Mid-range. One of the best ever. Arguably the best mid-range shooter ever. Absolutely. And you're right. He didn't have that game.
He didn't have that.
Remember, he hit the big shot at North Carolina. That's when I first thought, oh, this kid is something special. As a freshman, we hit the game winner against Georgetown for the championship. But you're right. He didn't enter the NBA. Nobody's thinking of him as like a great shooter. He was going to the rim all the time. But right now, it would be Durant. And it's not even arguable. Like, as much as we might think Giannis is the best player, when I need buckets,
right?
Because here's the thing, Rob. He can get it. Like, he can go to the hole and score. He can get his mid-range shot or any jump shot off anytime he wants. He's just too tall. Like, I love Steph. I used to say this, Robin. People might not believe me. But, I mean, long before Durant joined Golden State, I used to say Durant is like a 7-foot version of Steph Curry. And the advantage he has over Steph is that you can't, I mean, nobody's really blocking Steph's shot, but still, the fact that he's 7 feet tall, he can get it over anybody. Anybody.
You can play great shots defense in the clutch. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, his clutch numbers aren't that great. I mean, we gotta be honest about that. But he's hit some. Obviously, the big shot, like you said, the foot was on the line. That's one of the best clutch shots I've seen.
That's
in
a clutch shot. Am I right?
Yeah, that was
That's a clutch
terrific shot. Yeah, I'm just saying in general, his clutch numbers haven't been terrific. You know, even early in this year, Rob, when Kyrie early in the season, he's going to Durant in a few games, and Durant missed some big shots. If you're talking about the absolute last shot, there could be an argument for a Damian Lillard. There could be an argument for a Kyrie Irving, maybe a few other guys. But Durant, I wouldn't have a problem giving it to him, even though he has missed some. And, Rob, like I said, if we're talking about bringing us back, we just need to score. He's the guy I'm going to. There's no doubt about it. He's just too tall. He's just, I mean, Dirk Nowitzki was fantastic. Obviously, an all-time great and everything. But I don't think he was like, I don't want to say it sounds disrespectful. He wasn't like this. We're talking about a whole nother beast.
And I can remember watching Durant his rookie year when he first came to Detroit and just saying, I can't get over like the talk about this skinny kid, this tall, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I looked at him. I was like, what? People were going crazy over him. And I was just like, I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, he was so skinny. And man,
it still is.
No, I mean, but real you remember his rookie year though, Chris.
But remember, wasn't there? I think there was a lot of buzz at the draft that he couldn't bench press like 185 pounds.
Right,
I think that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that dude, you know what he's a better version, obviously. But this dude was legit. Remember Bob McAdoo?
Sure.
Remember Bob McAdoo?
Yep.
He was tall, 6'9", jump shooter, Hall of Famer, big time scorer. He wasn't Kevin Durant, but he was
at the end of his career. They called him Macadont, though, because he couldn't make those shots.
Well, he did go. Remember, he went to the Lakers.
I know, right?
As an older guy, came off the bench, gave him some points and minutes, and won a championship with them. But
that is funny.
We're gonna throw it out to you.
Macadont.
Yeah, Macadont. 877-99 on Fox.